Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. This is your district attorney, Trent Miller. And today we're going to be talking about arson, why it's a crime, the history of it, proper punishments for it. You guys will have the choice of deciding whether John Doe here is guilty or innocent. So let's go over the history. Looking at common law, arson was a crime in common law because it threatened the need of community members to feel secure in their homes and other buildings and communities. So we rely on shelter and our property to feel safe in our homes. Without it, we don't. So before statutory law existed, in common law, an act was considered arson only if it met all 5 of the following elements. Number 1, intent or malice on the part of the arsonist. Number 2, an actual burning. Number 3, the burning had to be of a dwelling or surrounding structure. 4, the burned property had to belong to someone other than the arsonist. And number 5, the action had to occur during nighttime. That's according to Rolfe. So what's really interesting about that is number 4. So number 4 says the burned property had to belong to someone other than the arsonist, which really changes what it is in statutory law today, which says modern arson is the malicious, willful burning of or attempted burning of one's own or another person's property. This could be the burning of a building, a vehicle, a forest, you name it. So the big difference here is that back in common law, insurance wasn't a thing. They didn't have those insurance claims, insurance fraud. And that's really where it made the big transition, because people tried to beat the system and they'd set fire to their own building or their house, like their own company, just so that they could make a profit off of the insurance claim. And so, that's illegal. So with that, according to the National Institute of Law Enforcement and Criminal Justice, arson is a violent crime which killed 1,000 people and injured 10,000 others in 1975 alone, and which at the same time caused greater estimated property losses, $1.4 billion, than any of the major property crimes, robbery, burglary, larceny, and motor vehicle theft. And now, so you guys might be wondering, why is arson a crime? Well, hey, I'll give you 2 solid reasons why. Number 1 is more common sense, the hypothetical that say arson isn't a crime, then society would suffer greatly. It'd be chaotic. People would be going around burning each other's houses down just to do it or to retaliate on something else. So by that, making it a crime is a deterrent to the society, to the public. And so the second reason, which is also kind of common sense, is that it causes physical and mental damage to the victim. And so an example of physical damage would be death, injury, say like a burn on your face, which actually could go into the mental side by bringing insecurities and also later on health conditions that goes with those burns. But on the mental side, it's bigger than that. Looking at the property itself, say person A burns down person B's place, and say they have priceless photo albums, vases, whatever possessions, those will never come back. And so imagine being in that victim's place. And so when I say imagine, I really do want you guys to imagine being in the victim's shoes. In this case, we're looking at John Doe burning down the Miller's household. Now, he is very lucky that none of them were severely injured or killed. However, all evidence points to him being guilty. The 2 big pieces of evidence that we've gone over, and we could go over in the pictures again, really briefly, is number 1, the text message he sent to his buddy saying that I want to harm this family. He wanted to purposely cause harm to them for no reason. And the second is that the neighbor across the street had a security camera with his same car with the license plate matching up to his vehicle. And listen, even though he's saying he's innocent, I think it's an obvious choice here. So with that, let's look at potential punishments for arson. It can be a felony or a misdemeanor. The United States allows a gray area to be decided by the judge in sentencing. This allows the court to weigh aggravating and mitigating circumstances. Some examples of aggravating circumstances are that they did it for profit. They had intent to injure or kill someone. They had prior convictions, death or injury to victims. There was a minor victim. there's weapons present, and say a firefighter, law enforcement goes in the scene and they get injured or killed. Some mitigating circumstances is that the person is apologetic, they plead insanity, it was an accident, they were coerced into doing it. So in that case, someone decided that they wanted to threaten this person, forcing them to commit the arson. That'd be a mitigating circumstance. So different jurisdictions handle these crimes differently. As well as that, the type of structure and estimated property value will weigh into this. But therefore, the sentencing could be between a day or capital punishment, depending on how severe it is. For the case of John Doe, there was intent to harm and kill. With this intent and the evidence shown through direct and cross-examination, please do the right thing and provide justice, and finally let this family move on from this horrible situation that they never deserved.